Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge Stories, The Path of Destinies. Und ja, wir sind auf der Weg zur Sternwarte ruhig, um den zusammengebauten Kern und das Gehäuse hier fortzuführen. Bei den Wissenschaftlern. Yay, Level up. So. Und
Building these
ich bin mal
platforms was
gespannt,
so
was wir
expensive, they'd run out of budget for guardrails.
Kiste. Ich muss echt so langsam mal so ein die Werkbank finden. Das verursacht mehr Schaden. Das verursacht mehr Schaden. Und ich würde sagen,
That could come in handy in a pinch.
wir erhöhen erstmal unsere Gesundheit. Ne, da ist nichts. Ich habe ja auch nur auf ihn geklickt, den Sack, der mich da von hinten angegriffen hat.
Next time, bring more birds.
Ja. Ich glaube nicht, dass mir Vögel helfen.
A legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Renato shuddered at what the Emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the Black Harvest, the Black Sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk. That ought to be enough for a proper sword, he thought?
Ja, ich weiß, dass das genug für ein gutes Schwert ist. Bringt mich nur nicht weiter. Wenn ich keine Werkbank finde. Die Reisen dann auch immer länger. Was zu futtern?
Renato had found his game changer. He would ignore all distractions and focus on the Sky River.
Sky River, genau, das war das Wort.
Hey.
Ja, die Werkbank.
Hey, a workbench! He could try out his new bling.
Ja, das war der Plan. Das Bling einsetzen. Und den Winterdorn basteln. Dafür fehlt mir halt noch was. Okay. Wir setzen den schon mal raus. Könnten jetzt immer noch alle Gegner in der Umgebung mit dem. Oder erlaubt es auch, sich selbst zu heilen. Finde ich eigentlich gut und wir verbrauchen erstmal nicht so viel.
His trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it.
Ist auf höchster Stufe jetzt. Damit können wir uns selbst heilen. Das ist, glaube ich, ganz praktisch. Ich will aber dahin. Da ist ein Teleporter. Der macht das bestimmt leichter. Das wäre beinahe zu früh gewesen.
Energy spheres.
Aua.
Easy to dodge, but boy do they sting if you didn't pay attention.
Das war knapp. Hab ich jetzt gerade dadurch meine ganze Energie verloren?
Boy, some people were just liable to explode if you upset them.
Okay, nehme ich für explodierenden Rahmen in Acht. Geht die Sackratte sofort hoch.
Bernardo felt a breeze through his armor. Oh dear, that wasn't good.
Er fühlte eine Brise durch seine Rüstung. Oh oh, das war nicht gut. Okay, da ist nichts.
Bernardo had been the terror of the sandcastles when he was two. Bernardo was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
Yeah, Sky Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are invisible strings that tie the universe together. If Sky Ripper cut one, the hole would widen and widen till our whole existence fell into it.
Another toad sighed. Irving still believes in string theory.
At least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Bernardo how to find it in the first place. But maybe he had to give up on using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use. Well, he should have known he'd have to consult Calaveras again. The scientists at the observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon. Every day they delayed risked the exposure of the secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle.
Hoffte er.
Maybe it was the cold. But after a few steps, Renado's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renato dare use the Sky Ripper? Oh, he hated that he had chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies. Some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, okay, it wasn't all that much simpler, no. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least he was sure of. Once, Renato had opened a chest, and a jack-in-the-box jumped out. Jack-in-the-boxes, they gave him the Wiggins.
Das mit dem Heilen ist schon cool.
Renato had always wanted a flying carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop, but it would do.
Wie ich die ganze Zeit drücke, dass er da rausgehen soll. Mann. Trifft mich dieses blöde Feuerviech trotzdem.
Tried to focus on the now. The ravens who seemed everywhere all the time. Where did they hatch from?
Das da.
Were there giant raven hatcheries somewhere, or did they have families? Ooh, he didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks. Yeah, Calaveras would help. He would make Renato feel better about using the Sky Ripper. And then Renato wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again.
Ach komm, ey.
Once you try it, you're hooked.
Ah. Nein, da war eine Kiste. Ich will die Kiste. Oh, wir nähern uns dem letzten Schwert. Noch ein Rind ist es.
Once, he'd found a Superman issue #1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series.
Oh Mann, was der für einen Müll labert. Oh, Herz. Herz.
very cool sword, thought Renata. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
Oh, war der schlecht. Hier können wir die Tür aufmachen. Das ist bestimmt immer interessanter. Oder auch nicht. Liebe Zenobia, erinnerst du dich an das Expeditionsteam, das ich in die Tiefen unterhalb der Inseln gesandt habe? Sie sind gut wieder hier angekommen. Naja, 3 Schiffe von den 8, die ich aussandte, sind wieder angekommen. Natürlich traurig um die Verluste, aber die Kenntnisse, die die Überlebenden zurückgebracht haben, sind von unschätzbarem Wert. Was sie erlebt haben, trotz jeder Beschreibung. Die Luft wird immer dichter und turbulenter, bis sie zum knochenbrechenden Gewitter wird, das fast zum Ersticken führt. Aber die Inseln dehnen sich unter der Oberfläche kilometerweit aus und sie haben Wurzeln, die sich nach unten strecken. Weit jenseits der Sicht. Die Inseln leben, das ist der Beweis, auf den ich gewartet habe. Die dicke Luft der Tiefen lässt sie sozusagen schweben und dort unten in der Tiefe finden sie Nahrung. Haben sie ein Bewusstsein? Sind sie sich unserer Existenz bewusst oder sind wir nichts als Parasiten, die sie ignorieren oder tolerieren? Ich muss eine weitere Expedition vorbereiten. Diesmal gehe ich selbst mit. Ich muss diese wunderbare Welt des endlosen Himmels der Tiefe einfach mit eigenen Augen sehen. Ich hoffe, dass du mich vor meiner Abreise besuchst. Ich würde gern mehr über deinen Freund Reynaldo erfahren. In Liebe, dein Vater. Schon wieder so eine geheime Nachricht.
Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
Auf geht's, ab geht's.
Who are these guys? They seem to make everyone else harder to kill.
Ja.
Laundress was going to get all these bloodstains out of his tunic.
Ein neues Juwel, yay! Und noch
Renata
eins.
remembered when he'd first stolen one of these. Good times.
Good times. Was eine Energieverschwendung, ja, toll.
Renato had been focusing all his energies on the Sky Ripper. If Calaveras could not fix it, he'd be out of options. He would have to assault the Imperial fleet empty-handed. What else could you hook?
I'm hooked on a feeling. Ja, wenn er gerade die Frage stellt. Hallo, hallo. Steht direkt davor, schlägt drauf ein. Was passiert? Ja, Geschwindigkeit.
Calaveras had never let him down.
Yeah, of course I can make it work better.
But when Renato explained about the strings, Calaveras grew thoughtful.
Oh, strings, you say? Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 128 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Each time you use it... Okay, look, just don't use it ever.
All right, I guess. As he sailed away from the mountains, Renato could see clouds darkening. Rain? No. Ships. Imperial ships, swarming thick as bees. This was it. The big battle. They could not afford to lose this one. What if it did not go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he gamble the universe? On the other hand, what were the odds of rolling 21 sixes in a row?
2,7.
The battle was not going spectacularly well. What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay, right? He wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
Aber Hauptsache, die Quest heißt, wende den Sky Ripper auf den Imperator an. LOL! Kampf. Noch nicht?
He hoped his hook didn't break.
Es reicht noch nicht. Ich brauche noch 13 Erze.
to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
Toll. Nicht in allen. Das kommt mir irgendwie vertraut vor. Praktisch, oder? Dafür weiß ich immer noch nicht, was es mit diesen Fackeln auf sich hat. Au. Stil toll. Ja, ganz toll. Da komme ich immer noch nicht durch.
Done beautifully. Where was a bard when you needed one?
Kein Bade da. Oh. Kampf. Geil! Ich habe den Typen mit Schild geschlagen, ohne ihm das Schild abzunehmen.
Someone had told him the odds didn't change just because you'd had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, though. And he always listened to his gut. On the other hand, 128 chances to win. But one of them, he'd destroy the universe. That seemed a bit serious. Maybe he could defeat the Emperor without firing the Sky Ripper. Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you pretended you had a fizzbin. That could work.
Wir spielen hier kein Kartenspiel. Es geht um deine Welt. Der Fuchs.
Imagine getting a horse up in one of these things. He would be cursing a blue streak.
Wie sie auf einmal alle gleichzeitig angreifen. Bye bye. Ich habe immer alle Fackeln angemacht. Vielleicht gibt es dafür ein Achievement. Vielleicht auch nicht. Noch ein Kampf. Bye bye, nix da verstärken. Level.
He set up the Sky Ripper and let it warm up. He would bluff if he had to. Zenobia came out, flanked by a very daunting platoon of ravens. You won't actually use that, she said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had. Or I know the odds. Good, because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. They only go up if I use it a bunch more times. No, but that's not how odds work. Didn't you pay attention in class? Now surrender, or I'll use it. Just once, he said. Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You have to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire, he said. Please? The Sky Ripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. And then he noticed there was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger, and even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror, as it poured into the ravenous hole. Ah, 1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Renato, and then everything fell into the hole and was gone. Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learned another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Ja. So, wie ihr seht, es gibt insgesamt 24 Verbindungsmöglichkeiten. Wir haben jetzt 2 aufgedeckt, 2 bräuchten wir noch, um weiterzukommen. Wir sehen uns aber beim nächsten Mal wieder. Die Folge ist sehr lang geworden. Wir sehen uns trotzdem beim nächsten Mal wieder. Vielen Dank, wenn ihr bis hierhin zugeguckt habt und habt viel Spaß auch bei meinen anderen Videos. Bye, bye.